everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joan and today is a special video. This video will serve in a 3-part series detailing what I watched, listened to, and read in the year 2020. Now this video is all about books. For a long time, I did not read books, okay? My friends knew me, they're like, don't recommend a book to Joan, she will not read it. I'm like, well, if it's nonfiction, they're like, you're not gonna read it. And I'm just like, okay. I made a promise to me. It wasn't last year. It was the end. It was 2018 going to 2019. I made a goal. I'm like, okay, I want to read more books because every single time I read these book plots, I'm captivated. On December 31st to January, I think 1st, I went from reading 0 books to having checked out 8 books. And I read like 3 or 4 of them too. My book reading journey has been a lot. And this year, I actually read a lot more in 2019 than I have in 2020 because I guess I just didn't really want to start anything new. I was really anxious all the time, so I just really wanted something comforting, so I watched a lot of Law & Order SVU. I'm pretty sure at this point you guys know I like Law & Order SVU. Like, I mention it a lot and I will keep mentioning it. But yeah, I'm here to talk about the books I read this year. Now I have my little notes on my laptop. Sorry, I don't have anything memorized. Yeah, overall 2020 has been a sad, scary, weird, fun, sweet, and low-key rewarding year. With the backdrop of the pandemic, people really had the time to sit down and relax and let people go, learn new things about themselves, about other people, and I think it's just really cool. My other 2 videos are like my top 25. Like, I didn't even get to 25. I barely got to like 15 books. So I guess it's just a thing where it's like, I listen to a lot of different things, watch a lot of different things. For movies, I watched 165 movies this year versus the book. It's not a lot. But essentially, I'm just gonna go off on the type of books that I read, give a little description, and then just tell you my favorite ones. Pretty easy. So ever since I started watching the MCU, I've actually gotten a lot into Marvel's comics. And I'm very proud of that, honestly, because I think the comics are pretty cool. For example, I think I've read a lot of like The Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, Black Panther. I just read a couple different ones. But this year I read a couple new ones. And out of the 20 books I read, 7 of them were comic books. So I read A-Force, Volume 1 and 2. Which is basically all about the women superheroes as a team. Now, as anyone who ever saw Endgame, that shot where they had all the women at the end, where Spider-Man's like, how are you gonna get out through there? And then Okoye is like, she's got help. And then all the women come through and it's like, cool, but are you actually gonna make a show about that? So I read that, and among those different ones is Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Nico from The Runaways, and Lady Loki. Then I read Miss Marvel Volume 1, which is about Kamala Khan. Now, I heard like a week or 2 ago when Marvel was doing their whole like show release or whatever, they're making a Miss Marvel show. So I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited to watch that. And anyone who got the Avengers game or looked at the Avengers game, Kamala Khan is the main protagonist in there too. I also read Flashpoint, which is the story where Barry Allen goes back in time to save his mom, and then it completely up his whole universe. Like, completely it up. They did that in season 3 of The Flash, which honestly, in my opinion, is my favorite season because I love time jumps. I love like that. Then I watched X-23 volumes 1 through 5, which is her origin story essentially. And if you don't know who X-23 is, if you ever seen the movie Logan, she's Laura. So she's the girl that's just like Logan. And in this comic series, it's basically like the original, the revamp, everything like that. And it was also very entertaining to read. I really like it. And I kind of like how X-23 Laura is kind of just mysterious, and she's kind of like, just let me do my thing and figure it out. And I'm like, the independence. I love that. And then I read The Boys. I actually read The Boys Volume 1. For anyone who doesn't know what The Boys is actually a TV show on Amazon, which is based off the comic book series where the boys are trying to take down Voight, which is a commercialized superhero company. And basically it's like, if we really took seriously like superheroes, this is what it would look like. And it's quite if you ask me. And Huey, who's the main protagonist, his girlfriend dies because a train literally runs through her, and he gets mad, obviously. And it's quite funny because in the comic book, they base his appearance off of, oh my god, I'm gonna find his name really quick. Simon Pegg. I didn't even look it up. Simon Pegg. And then in the TV show, Simon Pegg plays Huey's father. So that's quite interesting. The next one that I read was Stranger Things, Volume 1, on the other side. Now, I read this recently, and it just pretty much is the season 1 of Stranger Things from Will's perspective. Like, everything that happens is from his perspective. like when he tries to contact his mom, when he gets taken in the first place, when he has to run and hide. Low-key intense. And I read it in 30 minutes. It's a pretty short volume. And I guess if you already watched the Stranger Things, like you kind of figure where everything is going. I mean, the part where he discovered Barb though, low-key scary. And then I also I also read, out of the non-comic books, I read a mix. It was fantasy, nonfiction, teen fiction. The first thing I read was The Little Book of Self-Care for Aquarius by Constance Stellas. And yes, I do believe in astrology. Call me weird, I don't care. I do believe in it, and actually I want to get more into it in the next year. And I basically just want to like learn. I guess I've never been one to prioritize self-care, and especially that's something I did when I did therapy. It was something I very much prioritized for myself. So I'm like, well, besides watching YouTube and TV, like what else do I really like? And I realized that I like painting. I love cloud gazing. Cloud gazing's fun. And I definitely want to try acupuncture one day. But I read that just to get new ideas for myself. Then I read Use Your Planets Wisely, Master Your Ultimate Cosmic Potential with Psychological Astrology by Jennifer Reed. I am going deeper into astrology, so this is a very fascinating read. And that's for mostly if you want to get to know about like your setting sign, your rising signs, all your planets in your chart, what they mean, what does it mean for certain people. It's a very interesting read. I like it. Then I read Stop Thief, and it's a kid's book. Only though I read it because it was for my movement and voice performance. So basically I had to take the book and shorten it into like a page, memorize it, and then perform as all the characters. And then of course when Miss Roro, this was happening during Miss Roro. So basically I had to record myself doing it. And that was fun. And it makes me miss theater. Then I read the People edition of Law & Order SVU because best believe I will be reading a behind the scenes article, more like a whole book on SVU. And guess what? I don't buy magazines. It was $15.95, which I'm just like, why? But I bought it anyway, and I love it. Then I read Speak, the graphic novel by Lori Halls Anderson and Emily Carroll. Now, I watched this film when I was young, and this was one of my first introductions to Kristen Stewart. So reading the book, all I can think about was the movie. Book was restructured different, like you can just tell. It was just different. When I got to the end, I cried. The poem at the end with the painting, it made me cry. It's a good book. It's a really good book for someone who is suffering with PTSD and trauma from rape or sexual assault, and I really recommend it to anyone. It's a good one. Then I read Astrology and Enneagram, Understanding and Finding Yourself Through Astrology and Enneagram, growing my knowledge for astrology and numerology. And fun fact, my life path number for next year I think is number 3, so I'm gonna have a spiritual awakening, which I low-key already have started. Then the next book I read was Kindred by Octavia Spencer, and this was a graphic novel. I saw this in the library while strolling for books, and I was pleasantly surprised. And it's basically about a black woman in the 70s who's traveling back to slavery times to help a white boy, befriending a white young boy. It has to do with like identity and morals, and it really contemplates like the idea of obviously like manipulator relationships and things like that, and the race divide. I also read another one of Octavia Butler's book in a graphic novel form called Parable of the Sour. I just finished it like a couple of days ago. I read it all one day because I was getting my hair done, because this took 9 hours. I lied, 10 hours. So I read it while I was doing my hair, and it's basically about this 18-year-old, well, she's 15 when she starts the book, 18 when it ends. And basically it's about finding yourself through spirituality and not religion. She lives pretty much in a gated community, but like it's not gated. Like if they called the cops, like they would get a fee, so they would do everything not to call the cops. Like people would like rob them, their city gets burnt down, her father gets killed, like most of her family dies. Then I read Safe Sex, which is the book in my thumbnail. That book I saw while strolling at Barnes & Nobles, and again, another graphic novel because I love graphic novels. Sorry, I love pictures, okay? It's basically about a dystopian society where sex is outlawed, and it basically follows the LGBT plus friendly community or collective and trying to disband the society from the inside out. It's very sex positive, and you know, I love some sex. I just knew I was in for it when the first 2 pages was an orgy scene. The last book that I read this year is called Hot Comb by Ebony Flowers, and it's actually a book of short stories relating to Black girlhood, womanhood, school, trauma, family, and different friendships. I enjoyed Hot Comb a lot, and of all the short stories, I liked Hot Comb the best. I remember when like first getting my relaxer and getting my hair done, and my mom telling me not to do it, but we did. The difference is that I didn't go to a hair salon. My mom just did it because she did her own. Just the whole energy of going to a beauty salon, first of all, which I have done before. I guess it's just like those expectations from Black women, and a lot of other things that the stories like talked about. I know this is one other story that hit me hard. I can't remember the title of it, but it's basically about a Black girl who pulls her hair out because of anxiety and depression because she was in a softball team and no one talked about her hair until like they got it wet, and then her teammates would just constantly nag her, so she quit softball. She became anxious. She went to therapy. It was just really sad because of how close it hit to home. Like, I don't pull my hair out. Sometimes I pull my eyebrows out for anxiety, and I'm trying to be better about it. The relatability of just having too much of a good thing, or just having too much of a thing and then people ruin it for you. That was kind of depressing, sorry. These books were definitely good reads, and I had a great time reading this year, and next year I definitely want to read. I have started a reading list, very diverse in the books that I want to read different varieties of self-help and spiritual and mystery and horror and romance. And I'm really excited to dig deep into those books and just read more and learn more. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be a part of the Grape Gang, don't forget to hit that subscribe button where I upload weekly. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.